fantastic news! While Trump is going around capturing El Presidentes from around the world, the El Presidentes this time decided to come to Donald Trump. This is incredible. There is the World Economic Forum. All the El Presidentes in Europe mostly showed up to basically suck each other off and have a nice meeting about how Trump is actually bad and how the globalists are terrified that Trump is obliterating their whole New World Order. Trump wants Greenland and he's therefore going to take it, and there's really nothing they can do about it. So today we are going to show you all the El Presidentes getting absolutely cucked by the supreme leader, Donald Trumpano. It's pretty incredible. So first of all, breaking news, Trump disguises himself as a Muslim migrant so Europe will let him invade Greenland. This is a masterful gambit by President Trump. This is one of the reasons why they consider him to be the best of planners, okay? He has mastered the art of the deal. He knows that they only let Muslims invade their countries but not Christians, so therefore he has purposefully disguised himself in the best possible way. This is obviously working very well. Now, a reporter yesterday asked this to Trump. Trump is about to give a speech in the World Economic Forum, and they're already all crashing out. You have to see what's happening. So, bro, this is just a 5-second clip, but it's amazing.
How far are you willing to go to acquire Greenland?
You'll find out.
You'll find out! That's right. Greenland will be ours. It's happening. Now, you might not like it, but it's inevitable because that's what's happening. Trump is the best of planners, just like Allah. Exactly. Trump and Allah, they work together on this one. Breaking news! President Trump stuns the world! And he posted this, you know, him and Marco Rubio and JD, Just Dance Vance, over here taking Greenland, U.S. territory 2026. He posted another tweet, him talking to all the Euro cucks with a nice map on the wall of the United States of America, also including Canada and Greenland. So listen, man, he's been trolling. He's been doing a little bit of trolling, okay? Now, this is the moment Trump realized he could just take Greenland. This was a meeting he had with all the Euro cucks earlier this year, or last year rather, and this is basically all of them kind of sitting completely and utterly at the whims and mercy of El Donald, realizing that they have done such a fantastic job at absolutely obliterating their own countries that now they just have to sit together, huddling in a little sad cry orgy when Trump tells them what to do, and then they have to do it. And that just basically was proven again tonight when they're all trying to prove that, they're actually best friends with Russia. So Trump made this post on Truth Social, and this is ruffling a lot of feathers. There are more feathers ruffled than I've ever seen. So at what point are we going to realize the enemy is within? China and Russia are the boogeyman when the real threat is the UN, NATO, and this religion. I put religion in quotes because it's not a religion, it's a cult. Yeah, I went there. Oh my God! I'll be real. I cannot believe Trump reposted this. Like I've seen some wild Trump posts, but Trump reposting this one has got to be one of the wildest ones. Calling the UN and NATO the enemy within. Like, these guys are actually shaking. Trump went there. Trump actually freaking went there. No, it really is. Look, I'm not going to say which religion he's talking about. I'm not going to say what President Donald Trumpinator has been saying. He might have been referring to Hindus? No, I don't think so. He's back, but I'm not going to sit here and make believe I understand. So Donald Trump, before he got onto his plane on his way, it was Islam, by the way. I don't know if you were aware. It was Islam. So I don't know if you're aware. So here is Donald Trump. He is about to fly to Davos, to the World Economic Forum. And this is what he had to say right before he got on the plane.
So I'm going to
Donald J. Trump.
I believe it'll be very successful.
Very successful.
Never done better. We have $18 trillion plus coming in. We've never had anything like it. And nobody...
We have trillions of dollars coming in. Oh, wait, it's starting. It's starting. Here he is. He's orange. The orange man is here. We're watching this live, and then I'll show you the rest of the crazy shit that happened at the World Economic Forum. They're all crashing out over Trump taking Greenland. No volume. Good job.
Well, thank you very much, Larry. It's great to be back in beautiful Davos,
no way they're doing
Switzerland.
this, bro. There's no way they're doing
this. To address so many respected business leaders, so many friends, few enemies, and all of the distinguished guests. It's a who's who, I will say that. I've come to this year's World Economic Forum with truly phenomenal news from America. Yesterday marked the one-year anniversary of my inauguration, and today, after 12 months back in the White House, our economy is booming, growth is exploding.
I'll try to refresh the page just because they got their audio's always bad.
Inflation has been defeated. Our previously open and dangerous border is closed and virtually impenetrable. And the United States is in the midst of the fastest and most dramatic economic
Dude, I think
turnaround.
I'm telling you, man, they do the audio delays on purpose. I'm telling you, they do it just to fuck with him.
The nightmare of stagflation, meaning low growth, and high inflation, a recipe for misery, failure, and decline. But now, after just 1 year of my policies, we are witnessing the exact opposite. Virtually no inflation and extraordinarily high economic growth. Growth like I believe you'll see very shortly our country has never seen before, perhaps no country has ever seen before. Over the past 3 months, core inflation has been just 1.6%. Meanwhile, fourth quarter growth is projected to be 5.4%, far greater than anybody other than myself and a few others had predicted.
Oh, this is showing up the
stock
flag.
market has set 52 all-time high records.
I am here. America's awesome, which is why all of you should become territories of America.
To retirement.
The United Continents of America will be much stronger together than apart.
People are doing very well. They're very happy with me.
Dude, look how full the room is.
Since my
Dude, you want to see how full?
We've lifted more than 1.2 million people off of food stamps, and after 4 years in which Biden secured less than $1 trillion of new investment in our country. Think of that, 1 million.
Trudeau's address to the union.
Less. In 4 years, we've secured a record-breaking $18 trillion, and we think when the final numbers come out, they'll be closer to $20 trillion of investment. That's never been done by any country at any time, not even close. Just over 1 year.
Dude, is he seriously flexing his tariffs on the people that are paying his tariffs? That's insane.
Are the hottest country anywhere in the world. In fact, the United States economy is on pace to grow at double the rate that was projected by the IMF just last April. And with my growth and tariff policies, it should be much higher. I really believe we can be much higher than that. And this is all great news, and it's great for all nations. The USA economic engine on the planet. And when America booms, the entire world booms.
That's right, you're welcome. We boom.
When it goes bad, it goes bad.
You need us. We don't need you.
Down,
which is why Greenland is not negotiable.
I don't believe we've ever been. I never thought we could do it this quickly. My biggest surprise is I thought it would take more than a year, maybe like a year and 1 month. But it's happened very quickly. This afternoon, I wanted to discuss
even faster than expected.
How we achieved this economic miracle, how we intend to raise.
If you become part of America, no tariffs.
Before, and perhaps how you too and the places where you come from can do much better by following what we're doing.
We can make your countries better.
Places in Europe are not even recognizable, frankly, anymore. They're not recognizable.
True!
And
True!
We can argue about it, but there's no argument.
I came into the airport of England.
Places I don't want to insult.
There were no English people.
And say I don't.
It was all brown, no offense.
And that's not in a positive way. That's in a very negative way. And I love Europe, and I want to see Europe go good, but it's not heading in the right direction. In recent decades, it became
he came out here with
conventional
nukes.
Wisdom in Washington and European capitals that the only way to grow a modern Western economy was through ever-increasing government spending, unchecked mass migration, and endless foreign imports.
That's what they say.
Consensus was that so-called dirty jobs and heavy industry should be sent elsewhere, that affordable energy should be replaced by the green
take everything from China and Russia.
And that countries could be propped up by importing new and entirely different populations.
That's right. Oh my God. He's drawing blood. He's cooking.
Joe Biden administration and many other Western governments
follow suit or die.
Turning their backs on everything that makes nations rich and powerful and strong. And there's so much potential in so many nations.
Yep.
The result was record budget and trade deficits and a growing sovereign deficit.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
In human history. We've never seen anything like it. Quite frankly, many parts of our world are being destroyed before our very eyes, and the leaders don't even understand what's happening. Understanding anything about it. Virtually all of the so-called experts predicted my plans to end this failed model would trigger a global recession and runaway inflation. But we have proven them wrong. It's actually just the opposite.
And then again, the experts said men could get pregnant, so.
Produced a transformation like America has not seen in over 100 years. Instead of closing down energy plants, we're opening them up. Instead of building ineffective, money-losing windmills, We're taking them down and not approving any.
Yeah, fuck the windmills.
Instead
they kill birds.
Of empowering bureaucrats, we're firing them.
That's right. Get rid of
Going out
everyone
and
that's
getting
useless.
jobs in
If
the
they're
private
useless,
sector
remove
for
them.
2 and 3 times what they were making in government. So they started off hating me when we fired them, and now they love
shit.
me.
Obviously.
Instead of raising taxes on domestic producers, we're lowering them and raising tariffs on foreign nations to pay for the damage that they've caused. In 12 months, we have removed over 270,000 bureaucrats from the federal payrolls.
Cinema, I love
the
it.
largest single
I
year
love
reduction
it.
in government
Fire
employment
them all. They're
since the
useless.
end of World War II.
Do I hear Godfather
Nobody thought
music
that
in the
was
background?
coming, but we had no choice to make a country great.
We had to remove
all federal jobs.
That's right. Sorry,
We've cut
bitches.
federal spending by $100 billion and slashed the federal debt by 27% in the
Dude has aura.
single year. It's going to go down quite a bit more from that. Driving inflation way down from the record highs of the Biden administration. Every month,
You're
they
fired.
went up and up and up. I promised to cut 10 old regulations for every single new regulation, but instead I've cut actually till this point 129 regulations from one new regulation approved. So every time they come in with
That's
a
so
new
big.
we do at least 10, but so far it's averaging out to 129, if you can
This
believe
could be you, Greenland. This could be
passed the
you,
largest
Canada.
tax cuts in American history, including no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. We also provided 100% expensing. That's the one they like. And bonus depreciation for all new equipment and capital investments to help companies expand and shift production to America. They so in love with that. They build a plant, they're able to deduct it immediately, the whole thing, rather than waiting 38 to 41 years in the old days. This is a miracle taking place. Nobody thought it would ever be done by any country, but it's done by us. It was what made my first term the most successful 4-year term that we've ever had from a financial standpoint. And now we've upped it. This is a 10-year program, not a 1-year program, but you're allowed to deduct everything in 1 year. It used to be 38 to 41 years. With tariffs, we've radically reduced our ballooning trade deficit, which was the largest in world history. We were losing more than $1 trillion every single year, and it was just wasted. It was going to waste.
True. It was a waste.
But in 1 year, we had a monthly trade deficit by a staggering 77%.
Damn.
And all of this with no inflation, something everyone said could not be done. There were a couple of
there was inflation, but very
thought
little.
I was doing the right thing. I thought I was doing the right thing. Now they all think I'm doing the right thing because they can't believe the numbers. American exports are now up by more than $150 billion. Domestic steel production is up by 300,000 tons a month, and it's doubling over the next 4 months. It's doubling and tripling, and we have steel plants being built all over the country. Nobody thought they'd see that. Factory construction is up by 41%.
Yeah, that's
and
all.
that is really going to skyrocket
only because
right
of
now
tariffs.
because that's during a process that they're putting in to get their approvals, and we've given very, very quick, fast approvals. In the process, we've made historic trade deals with partners covering 40% of all U.S. trade. Some of the greatest companies and countries in the world. We have countries as our partner, too. The European nations.
I love how he's just flexing
Japan,
that you
South
could
Korea.
actually just do things
They're
if
our
you're not a
partners.
complete.
They've got massive deals with us, especially on oil and gas. And these agreements raise growth and cause stock markets to boom, not only in the U.S., but virtually every country that came to make a deal, because as you've learned, when the United States goes up, you follow.
That's
So
right, baby. Keep following.
In America, I've stopped the
Oh my God!
policies that drive up prices while sending jobs and factories to the world's worst polluters. They are indeed polluters. Under Sleepy Joe Biden, new domestic oil and gas leases fell by 95%. Think of that. Then they wonder, why was gasoline going up so fast? The gasoline actually topped $5 a gallon, and some places $7 a gallon, and more than 100 major power plants were violently shut down by incompetent people that had no idea what the hell they were doing. Under my leadership, U.S. natural gas production is at an all-time high by far. U.S. oil production is up by 730,000 barrels a day, and last week we picked up
Maduro!
50 million barrels from Venezuela alone.
Oopsie, we picked up an El Presidente and all of his oil. We looted his corpse.
Place for so many years, but then they went bad with their policies.
Remember that
20
guy?
Years ago, it was a great country.
He's mine
it's
now.
Got problems, but we're helping them. And
you could do
those
things
50
if you're not a
million
leftoid.
Barrels, we're going to be splitting up with them, and they'll be making more money. They've made it a long time. Venezuela is going to do fantastically well. We appreciate all of the cooperation we've been giving. We've been giving great cooperation. Once the attack ended, and they said, let's make a deal.
We took an El Presidente. We bombed the grave of another El Presidente.
Venezuela is going to make more money in the next 6 months than they've made in the last 20 years. Every major oil company is coming in with us. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing to see.
It's like we
The
literally
leadership
just
of
took
the country
control
has
of the
been,
world's oil.
Very good. They've been very, very smart. The price of gasoline is now below $2.50 a gallon in many states, $2.30 a gallon in most states, and we'll soon be averaging less than $2 a gallon. In many places, it's already down even lower, $1.95 a gallon. Numerous states are at $1.99, numbers that nobody has heard for years.
Yeah, no, honestly insane.
Actually, since my last administration, we got it down to around those numbers. I've signed an order directing and approval of many new nuclear reactors. We're going heavy into nuclear. I was not a big fan because I didn't like the risk, the danger, but they have what the progress they've made with nuclear is unbelievable, and the safety progress they've made is incredible. We're
Except
very
California.
much into
Yeah,
the
that's a
world
California
of nuclear
problem.
energy, and we can have it now at good prices and very, very safe.
Make
And we're
road
leading the
trips
world
fun
in
again.
AI by a lot. We're leading China by a lot. I think President Xi respects what we've done, in part because
he's
I've
terrified.
allowed
He has no
these
choice.
Big companies building these
We just
massive
destroyed half their
buildings
oil.
to build their own electricity.
Yeah.
They're building their own power plants, which when added up is more than any country anywhere in the world is doing. I read recently an article in the Wall Street Journal that China's creating so much energy, and they are. I got to hand it to them. But we're creating as much or more, and we're letting them do that. I'm very proud of it. It was my idea. I said, you can't create this much energy. We needed more than double the energy currently in the country just to take care of the AI plants. And I said, we can't do that. We have an old grid system. And I came up with the idea, you people are brilliant. You have a lot of money. Let's see what you can do. You can build your own electric generating plants. And they looked at me. They didn't believe me. All of the names that are, I think, in the room right now, if you want to know the truth, they didn't believe it. And I said, no, you can't. They came back 2 weeks and they didn't have the plant. They said, we thought you were kidding. I'm not kidding. You're going to have your approvals within 2
Yep,
weeks.
we have all the things. We
And
can just
say
do things,
nuclear
actually.
Nuclear will take 3 weeks, but most aren't going that. They're going oil and gas. They're even going coal in some cases. Because of my landslide election victory, the United States avoided the catastrophic energy collapse which befell every European nation.
Yep,
That
completely true.
pursued the Green New Scam.
Yep.
Perhaps the greatest.
It turns
hoax
out if
in
you're not,
history.
if
The Green New Scam, windmills all over the place, destroy your land, destroy
Look,
your
man,
land.
turns out if you're
Every
not
time
liberal,
that go
you
around,
can do
lose
things.
$1,000.
But I have
You're
empathy
supposed to
for all
make
these other
money
people
with
that hate
energy,
me.
not lose money.
But the environment
Europe,
that China's
We've
killing
seen
better than we could
that
ever fix.
The radical left tried to impose on America. They tried very hard. Germany now generates 22% less electricity than it did in 2017, and it's not the current.
No offense, Germany. He's
chancellor's
literally
fault.
talking
He's
to these people.
solving the problem. He's
Oh
going
my
to do
God.
a great job. But what they did before he got there, I guess that's why he got there. And electricity prices are 64% higher. The United Kingdom produces just 1/3 of the total energy from all sources that it did in 1999.
Oh my
Think of
God,
that,
he's just
1/3.
shitting on all of
And they're
that.
sitting on top of the North
Oh
Sea,
my
one of the
God.
greatest reserves anywhere in the world.
He brings all the world leaders
don't use
together,
it.
literally
And that's
just
one
to shit
reason
on
why
them.
their energy has reached
That's
catastrophically low levels with equally high prices.
Cult W.
Very low levels. Think of that, 1/3. and you're sitting on top of the North Sea, and they like to say, well, you know, that's depleted. It's not depleted. It's got 500 years. They haven't even found the oil. The North Sea is incredible. They don't let anybody drill. And
y'all are gay. You're gay and retarded.
They make it impossible for the oil companies
Let's
to go.
just kill our own nations. Hi, I'm European. I like suicide.
So the oil companies say, we can't do it. They came to see me. Is there anything you can do? I want Europe to do great. I want UK to do great.
Europe is acting like a fat, retarded lesbian running over ICE officers.
In fact, their electricity prices have soared 139%.
Oh my God. He's literally just showing up to slap his dick on the table.
There are windmills
This is amazing.
all over the place, and they are losers. One thing I've noticed is that the more windmills a country has, the more money that country loses. And
you are losers. Pathetic.
China makes almost all of the
You're
windmills.
Gay.
And yet I haven't been able to find any wind farms in China. Did you ever think
obviously.
of that? It's a good way of looking at it. They're smart. China's very smart. They make them. They sell them for a fortune. They sell them to the stupid people that buy them. They don't use them themselves. They put up a couple of
This is insane.
big wind farms, but they don't use them. They just put them up to show people what they could look like.
They don't use them. They sell them to stupid people. And stupid people buy them. It's a stupid tax. It's called the suicidal Eurocucks.
With the coal, they go with oil and gas. They're starting to look at nuclear a little bit, and they're doing just fine. They make a fortune selling the windmills, though.
Dude, this is an entire audience of people that hate him.
They were shocked that it continues to go. They're very friendly with me. They're shocked that people continue to buy those damn things.
Yeah, because China doesn't give a shit about the environment.
Other than that, I think they're fabulous, by the way. People buy them. The consequences of such destructive policies have been stark, including lower economic growth, lower standards of living, lower birth rates,
lower average IQ, lots of inbreeding. What's going on with that?
To hostile.
What's up with all the inbreeding?
And much, much smaller militaries. The United States cares greatly about the people of Europe. We really do. I mean, look, I am derived from Europe. Scotland and Germany.
Yep, that's right.
100%.
Look, I love Europe. I want Europe to prosper, German, but they're killing themselves. And until they figure that shit out.
The bonds we share with Europe as a civilization. I want to see it do great. That's why issues like energy, trade, immigration, and economic growth must be central concerns to anyone who wants to see a strong and united West.
That's right. You have to earn your place. Earn your keep. We don't owe you jack shit.
Culture that they've created over
if you don't maintain your culture,
what they're doing to themselves, they're destroying themselves.
That's right. Oh my God, I'm so happy he's saying it. This is exactly what I'm thinking.
Not weakened ones. We want Europe to be strong.
But you're not.
These are matters of national security, and perhaps no current issue makes the situation more clear than what's currently going on with Greenland.
Yeah!
Of Greenland?
Greenland! That's what I'm talking about.
I leave it out of the speech, but I thought...
I knew we were getting there.
That would have been reviewed very negatively. I have tremendous respect for both the people of Greenland and the people of Denmark. Tremendous
but we need it. Sucks to be
you.
you.
Every NATO ally has an obligation to be able to defend their own territory. And the fact is, no nation or group of nations is in any position to be able to secure Greenland other than the United States.
Oh my God, this is
great
cinema.
Power, much greater than people even understand. I think they found that out 2 weeks ago in Venezuela.
That's right. You thought you were safe? We took it up Presidente from under your nose.
When Denmark fell to Germany after just 6 hours of fighting. And was totally unable to defend either itself or Greenland. So the United States was then compelled.
You lost the war in 6 hours and you don't want to give me Greenland?
To send our own forces to hold the Greenland territory.
Oh my God. You want a history lesson?
At great cost and expense. They didn't see getting on it, and they tried. Denmark knows that.
Yep. Greenland was promised us 3,000 years ago.
On Greenland for Denmark. We fought for Denmark. We weren't fighting for anyone else. We were fighting to save it for Denmark. Big, beautiful piece of ice. It's hard to call it land. It's a big piece of ice. We saved Greenland.
Greenland shithole. Anyway, I need it.
Prevented our enemies from gaining a foothold in our hemisphere. So we did it for ourselves also. And then after the war, which we won it big. Without us, right now you'd all be speaking German and Japanese, perhaps.
Oh my God!
We gave Greenland back to Denmark.
This is the craziest shit I've ever seen. This is amazing.
But we gave it back. But how ungrateful are they now? So now our country and the world face much greater risks than it did ever before because of missiles, because of nuclear, because of weapons of warfare that I can't even talk about.
Oh, shit.
2 weeks ago, they saw weapons that nobody ever heard of.
Oh,
they
boy.
weren't able to fire one shot at us. They said, what happened? Everything was discombobulated.
Yup.
They said,
Yup. We went
got
into
'em in our
Venezuela.
sights. Press the trigger. and
Everyone
nothing
just started
happened.
vomiting.
No anti-aircraft missiles went.
That's crazy.
There was one that went up about 30 feet and crashed down right next to the people that sent it. They said, what the hell is going on? Those
Psychic
those
weapons.
defensive systems were made by Russia and by China.
And Iran.
So they're going to go back to the drawing boards, I guess. Greenland is a vast, almost entirely uninhabited and undeveloped territory.
Yep.
It's sitting undefended in a key strategic location between the United States, Russia, and China. That's exactly where it is, right smack in the middle.
Yep. I love how he doesn't even mention Canada.
When we gave it back, you know.
What
when
even
we
is
gave
it, Canada?
back,
I never heard of
it
it.
wasn't the same as it is now. It's not important for any other reason, you know. Everyone talks about the minerals. There's so many
Minerals.
rare earth.
We don't even need
No
Greenland.
such
Kind of a
rare
shithole.
There's rare
It's
processing.
cold. It's
But there's
sucky.
so much rare earth.
But we
And
want
this
it.
to get to this rare earth. you
And it
gotta
will
go
be
through
ours.
Hundreds of feet of ice. That's not the reason we need it. We need it for strategic national security and international security.
We're going to talk about this in a
Unsecured
second after he finishes
island
his
is a part of North America, on the northern frontier of the Western Hemisphere. That's our territory. It is therefore a core national security interest of the United States of America. And in fact, it's been our policy for hundreds of years to prevent outside threats from entering our hemisphere, and we've done it very successfully. We've never been stronger than we are now. That's why American presidents have sought to purchase Greenland for nearly 2 centuries. You know, for 2 centuries, they've been trying to do it. They should have kept it after World War II, but they had a different president. People think differently. Much more necessary now than it was at that time, however. In 2019, Denmark said that they would spend over $200 million to strengthen Greenland's defenses. But as you know, they spent less than 1% of that amount. 1%. There's no sign of Denmark there. And I say that with great respect for Denmark, whose people I love, whose leaders are very
Great
good.
respect to you, Denmark. But your military
It's the United
comprises
States
2
alone
dog
that
sleds.
can protect this giant mass of land, this giant piece of ice, develop it and improve it and make it so that it's good for Europe and safe for Europe and good for us. And that's the reason I'm seeking immediate negotiations to once again discuss the acquisition of Greenland by the United States.
It's going to happen, by the way.
Just
We're like- we're all kidding and joking, but it's happening.
Our history, as many of the European nations have, they've acquired. There's nothing wrong with it. Many of them, some went in reverse. Actually, if you look, some had great vast wealth, great vast lands all over the world. They went in reverse. They're stuck back where they started. That happens too. But some grow. But this would not be a threat to NATO. This would greatly enhance the security of the entire alliance,
100%.
the NATO alliance. The
Yeah,
United
for sure. It'd
States
be
is
good for
treated
everybody.
very unfairly by NATO. I want to tell you that. And when you think about it, nobody can dispute it. So much.
We're funding
and we
their
get
defense.
So little in return.
For what?
And I've been a critic
'Cause
of
we're
NATO for
nice
many
guys?
years. And yet I've done more to help NATO than any other president by far, than any other person. You wouldn't have NATO if I didn't get involved in my first term. The war with Ukraine is an example. We are thousands of miles away, separated by a giant ocean. It's a war that should have never started, and it wouldn't have started
If I was
the
president.
2020 U.S. presidential election weren't rigged. It was a rigged
Oh
election.
my
Everybody
God!
knows that.
Oh
They
my
found out.
God!
People will soon be
Bro!
prosecuted for what they did.
Wait, he's actually going to go after them
Probably
for
breaking
stealing the
news, but
election.
It should be. It's a rigged
Oh
election.
my
Can't
God.
have rigged elections. You need strong borders, strong elections, and ideally a good press. I always say it. Strong borders, strong elections, free, fair elections, and a fair media. The media is terrible. It's very crooked. It's very biased, terrible. But someday it'll straighten out because it's losing all credibility. Think of it. When I went in a landslide, a giant landslide, won all 7 swing states, won the popular vote, won everything. And they only get negative press.
Yep.
That means that it has no credibility. And if they're going to get credibility, they're going to have to be fair. So you need a fair press. But you also need those other elements. And I inherited a terrible, terrible situation. If you look, the border was open, the inflation was raging, everything was bad with the United States when I came into office. but I also inherited a mess with Ukraine and Russia, something that would have never happened. And I know Putin very well. He and I would discuss Ukraine. It was the apple of his eye, but he wasn't going to do anything. I said, Vladimir, you're not doing it.
Vladimir!
He would never have done it.
Sit your
It
ass
was terrible
down.
what happened. I could see it happening, too. After I left, I could see it happening. Biden had given Ukraine and NATO $350 billion, a staggering sum, $350 billion.
Yep.
I came in, and just like the southern border, just like inflation, just like our economy, I said, wow, this place is in trouble, meaning our country. All of these things were out of control.
He's
But the
right.
border was out of control. We fixed it with the strongest border anywhere in the world. And I've now been working on this war for 1 year, during which time I settled 8 other wars. India, Pakistan. I settled other wars that were Vladimir Putin called me, Armenia, Azerbaijan. He said, I settled that one. They were going on for 35
Oh, my
years.
God.
I settled it
Yeah,
in
right
one day. And President Putin called me. He said, you know, I can't believe I've worked on that war for 10 years trying to settle it. I couldn't do it. I said, do me a favor, focus on settling your war. Don't worry about that one. What does the United States get out of all of this work, all of this money, other than death, destruction, and massive amounts of cash going to people who don't appreciate what we do? They don't appreciate what we do. Talking about NATO, I'm talking about Europe.
Yep.
They have to work on Ukraine. We don't. The United States is very far away. We have a big, beautiful ocean
Ocean.
separating us. We have nothing
We're
to
in
do
no
with it.
threat, but you
Until
are.
I came along, NATO was only supposed to pay 2% of GDP, but they weren't paying. Most of the countries weren't paying anything. The United States was paying for virtually 100% of NATO, and I got that stopped. I said, that's not fair. But then, more importantly, I got NATO to pay 5%, and now they were paying, and now they are paying. So something nobody said was possible. They said, we will never go up higher than 2%. But they went to 5%, and now they're paying the 5. They didn't pay the 2, and now they're paying the 5.
Yeah, that's
and they're
right.
stronger for it, and they have an excellent, by the way, Secretary General, who's possibly in the room. Mark, are you here? Yes, he's here. Hello, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
We
Oh,
never
hi,
asked for
Mark.
anything, and we never got anything. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force, where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that. Okay, now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made, because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use
We'll
force.
see.
I don't want to use force.
We'll
I
see.
won't
We'll
use
see.
force.
We'll see. We'll see.
All the United States,
Who
there's a
knows?
place called Greenland, where we already had it.
Either you give us
As a
Greenland or we
trustee,
take
but
all of
respectfully
Europe,
returned
okay?
it back to Denmark,
Or we
not
tariff
long
the shit
ago
out of
after
you.
we defeated the Germans, the Japanese, the Italians, and others in
I
World
could
War
rape
II.
you, but
We
I
gave it
won't.
back to them.
Yet.
We were a
I won't
powerful
rape you
force
yet.
then, but we are a much more powerful force now. After I rebuilt the military in my first term and continue to do so today, we have a budget of $1.5 trillion.
I will
We're
use
bringing
your
back
tariffs to pay
battleships.
for Greenland.
The battleship is 100 times more powerful than the great battleships you saw in World War II, those great, big, gorgeous ships, the Missouri, the Iowa, the Alabama.
Elon is building a
Maybe we
space.
come out of mothballs. They said, no, sir, these ships are 100. Think of that.
We have psyker
100
warriors
times
aboard
more
every one of
powerful
our
than those
battleships.
Big, magnificent pieces of art that you saw so many times ago that you still see on television.
Every
You say,
soldier
wow,
equipped with
what
a
force.
chainsword
100 times-
and
100 times more powerful than the big battleships of the past. So that was the end of the mothball story.
Pete Hegseth calls
So
them
what we
the
have
Grey Knights, not the Gay Knights.
Gotten out of NATO
Oh my God.
is nothing except to protect Europe from the Soviet Union and now Russia. I
We'd
mean,
love
we've
to
helped
help,
them for
guys.
so
All you
many
have to
years.
do is
We've
give
never
us your
gotten
shit.
anything.
That's it, man. It's all
Except
that
we
has to
paid
be
for
done.
NATO. And we paid for many years until I came along. We paid for, in my opinion, 100% of NATO because they weren't paying their bills. And all we're asking for is to get Greenland, including right title and ownership, because you need the ownership to defend it. You can't defend
Faith.
it on a lease.
That's right. He's totally
Number one,
right. He's
legally,
totally
it's
right.
not
You
defensible
renovate
that way.
a rented home.
And number two, psychologically, who the hell wants to defend a license agreement or a lease, which is a large piece of ice in the middle of the ocean where if there is a war, much of the action will take place on that piece of ice. Think of it. Those missiles would be flying right over the center of that piece of ice. All we want from Denmark for national and international security and to keep our very energetic and dangerous potential enemies at bay is this land on which we're going to build the greatest golden dome ever built. We're building a golden dome that's going to, just by its very nature, going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also.
True! I'm going to show you what Canada's been talking about lately.
Wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that.
My God, he's laying it on.
Make your statements. What we did for Israel was amazing, but that's nothing compared to what we have planned for the United States, Canada, and the rest of the world. We are going to build a dome like no other.
A beautiful dome.
We did it for Israel. And by the way, I told Bibi, stop taking credit for the dome. That's our technology. That's our stuff. But they had a lot of courage, and they were good fighters, and they did a good job. And we wiped out the Iran nuclear threat like nobody can believe.
Yep.
Nobody's ever seen anything like it. That, Venezuela, taking down Soleimani, wiping out al-Baghdadi when he tried to reinstitute ISIS. We did a lot. I did a lot of big things. All perfectly executed. Everyone was perfectly executed. Somebody told me that, a military expert told me, sir, everything you've done has been perfectly executed. I said, I know.
I'm pretty great
so
like
other
that.
presidents
Actually.
have spent,
I take it at Presidente once a week.
Trillions and trillions of dollars on NATO and gotten absolutely nothing in return. We've never asked for anything. It's always a one-way street. Now they want us to help them with Ukraine. And we say, we're going to. I'm really helping, not even them. I want to see, last week, if you saw, it was 10,000 soldiers, but last month it was 31,000 soldiers died. 31,000. That's this room times, the number of people in this room times 30. Think of it. 30,000 soldiers died in 1 month.
Crazy.
The month before it was 27,000. The month before that it was 28,000. The month before that it was 25,000. It's a bloodbath over there. And that's what I want to stop. It doesn't help the United States, but these are souls. These are young people. Look like you. Look like some of you right in the front row. They go to war. Their parents are so proud. Oh, there he goes, comes back. 2 weeks later, they get a call, your son's head's been blown off. I want to stop it. It's a horrible war. It's the worst since World War II. They keep going, they'll exceed World War II. The numbers are staggering, how many people they've lost. They don't want to talk about it. Ukraine and Russia lost just tremendous amounts. And I'm dealing with President Putin, and he wants to make a deal, I believe. I'm dealing with President Zelensky, and I think he wants to make a deal. I'm meeting him today. He might be in the audience right now.
What a fascist.
But they got to get that war stopped.
In a way that doesn't even help
because
us.
Too many people are dying.
Trying to make peace benevolently?
Too many souls are being lost.
Oh, my God.
It's the only reason I'm interested in doing it. But in doing it, I'm helping Europe, I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me.
Iceland?
They called me daddy, right?
We're taking it.
Very smart man said, he's our daddy. He's running it.
Bro, what is even happening right now, bro?
Running it to being a terrible human
Literally,
being.
what is even happening?
But now what I'm asking for is a piece of ice, cold and poorly located.
Give me the big cold rock, you motherfuckers, or we're taking it by force.
In world peace and world protection.
We need it.
It's
you
a
don't.
very small ask.
Call me daddy, and I'm taking
to
it.
What we have given them for many, many decades. But the problem with NATO is that we'll be there for them 100%. But I'm not sure that they'd be there for us if we gave
well
them
said, Mr. President.
Gentlemen, we are being attacked. We're under attack by such and such a nation.
Dude, Trump, you
I
gotta
very well.
You gotta threaten. You gotta twist their balls a little bit.
They'd be there for us. So with all of the money we expend, with all of the blood, sweat, and tears, I don't know that they'd be there for us.
He's right.
They're not there for us on Iceland. That I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. So Iceland's already cost us a lot of money. But that dip is peanuts compared to what it's gone up. And we have an unbelievable future in that stock. That stock market is going to be doubled. We're going to hit 50,000, and that stock market's going to double in a relatively short period of time because of everything that's happening. But this is a good example. After giving NATO and European nations trillions and trillions of dollars,
they're the most selfish people on the planet.
We make the greatest weapons in the world, but now
they hate Western civilization. They hate us. They prefer
I put a cap
the
on the
retards that
salaries.
they're importing into their countries.
No buybacks, no stock buybacks, no various other things that they were doing. I mean, they were making $50 million, but it would take them 3 years to give you a Patriot missile. I said, that's not good. My chauffeur can do a better job than that. and he makes slightly less than 50. They make big salaries. If they're going to make those big salaries, they're going to have to produce a lot faster. The good news is we have the greatest equipment in the world. Now we're going to start making it a lot faster. They're going to build additional plants. And all of the money that goes into stock buybacks is going to go into building plants. We're not allowing stock buybacks by defense companies any longer. They're going to build new plants to make Tomahawks, Patriots, equipment, F-35s, F-47, the new one just coming out. They say it's the most devastating plane, fighter jet ever. Who knows? They called it 47. If I don't like it, I'm going to take the 47 off it. I wonder why they called it 47. We'll have to think about that. But if I don't like it, I'm going to take that 47 off.
Nice.
But it's supposed to be the Stage 6. It's supposed to be the first Stage 6 plane, undetectable, like our B-2 bombers were undetectable. They flew right over Iran. They were undetectable, and they did their job, and they got the hell out of there. So we want a piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. We've never asked for anything else, and we could have kept that piece of land, and we didn't. So they have a choice. You can say yes, and we will be very appreciative, or you can say no, and we will remember.
Oh, shit!
And secure America means a strong NATO.
Say yes or say no.
I'm working every day to ensure our military is very powerful.
We'll remember.
Our borders are very strong. And above all, our economy is strong because national security requires economic security and economic prosperity. And we have the greatest that we've ever had. Biden and his allies destroyed our economy and gave us perhaps the worst inflation in American history. They say 48 years, I say forever, but I think 48 years is the equivalent to forever. Whether it's 48 years or ever, it's terrible, costing the typical family $33,000. What they did to this country should never, ever be forgotten.
Yep.
It's early, but he has to be rated as the worst president we've ever had by far.
This is the last time he's asking.
Much of the damage.
I think, I don't think you understand.
President.
If they refuse,
I don't believe
I know he says that we'll remember
the kind of things that he
something's going to happen.
But now grocery prices, energy prices, airfares, mortgage rates, rent, and car payments are all coming down, and they're coming down fast. We inherited a mess, but we've done a hell of a job in 12 months. Under my most favored nation policy for drug prices, the cost of prescription drugs is coming down by up to 90%, depending on the way you calculate. You could also say 5, 6, 7, 800%. There are two ways of figuring that. But we have a favored nations policy that every president wanted. No president was able to get. I got it. And other nations approved it. And I had to use tariffs in order to get it because they said, no way. In other words, a pill.
United Country of America.
In London costs $130. Think it costs $10 in London, costs $130 in New York or in Los Angeles. Yep. And I'd say, boy, that's bad. Friends of mine would say, we go to London, you can buy the stuff for nothing. We go all over the world, we could buy it for nothing. Because basically America was subsidizing every nation in the world.
Yep.
Because presidents allowed them to get away with it. It became very tough. So when I called up Emmanuel Macron, I watched him yesterday with those beautiful sunglasses.
I'm going to show you a clip.
What the hell happened?
Dude, you have no idea. This man completely cucked out to China. I'm going to show you right after the speech.
Be tough. But he was at $10 for a pill. And I said, Emmanuel, and I have all the big pharmaceutical companies are in total agreement. It wasn't easy, by the way. They're tough, smart. They've been getting away with the scam for a long time. But they gave it up. But they said, you'll never get the countries to approve it. I said, why is that? Because they won't. They always said, we're not paying any more. Get the rest for the United States. So over the years, they stayed the same. We just went up, up, up. And I mean, we would pay 13, 14, 15 times more than certain countries would. So
yeah, this is what we voted for, man.
They'll approve it 100%. Sir, you'll never get them to approve it. I said, I guarantee you. But I actually started with Emmanuel, who probably is in the room too. And I like him. I actually like him. Hard to believe, isn't it? And I said, Emmanuel, you're going to have to lift the price of that pill to $20.
Oh, my
maybe
God.
$3. Think of that. So that means it's a doubling of prescription drugs. Might be a tripling, might be a quadrupling. It's not easy. No, Donald, I will not do that. I said, yes, you will, 100%.
Yep, it's going to happen.
Said, no.
No, yes.
You're asking me to double. I said, Emmanuel, you've been taking advantage of the United States.
Emmanuel, I'm not asking. I'm telling you, sir.
You really should do it, and you will do it. I have no doubt. In fact, I am 100% sure you're going to. No, I will not do it. Because, yes, in all fairness to him, he has to double. or triple. Because the world being a bigger place than the United States, it's not that you meet in the middle. You just have to go up some, and we come down a lot. They go up a little, we come down a lot. So we're at $130, they're at 10. So they may have to go to 20 or 30, no more than that. I said, Emmanuel, you're going to be doubling or tripling? No, no, no. I said, here's the story, Emmanuel. The answer is you're going to do it fast. And if you're putting a 25% tariff on everything that you
It's
sell into the
happening.
United States.
You might not like
100%
it, but
tariff,
unfortunately,
and you wind
you're...
up paying, and that's about 10 times more than what I'm requesting. And you're going to do it. I don't want to go public with it, but you may make me do that. No, no, Donald, I will do it. I will do it. It took me, on average, 3 minutes a country saying the same thing. You will do it. They all said, no, 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 I will not do it. You're asking me to double the cost of prescription. I said, that's right, because you've been screwing us for 30 years.
Oh my God! This dude literally decided to come out here and put the entire European Union on notice.
We're putting a 25, 30, 50. I gave different numbers for different countries. This is also national
security. And these people are all sitting here watching this in person.
Subsidize the whole world. And every one of those countries have agreed to do it. So one of the biggest things that I've done is the fact that we have now most favored nation. We will pay whatever the lowest price is in the entire world.
Based. You know what? Based.
Prices are going to be
we do the most for the most people.
90%.
We get the best deal.
Again, you could say 1,000%, 2,000%. Depends on the way you want to figure it. But we'll go with the way the fake news likes it better because it sounds, can you imagine a 90% reduction sounds much worse. But drug prices are going to be coming down tremendously in all the nations, and I appreciate them doing it. But they did it, in all fairness, without tariffs. I wouldn't have been able to get it done. After declining $3,000 under Biden, real incomes are up in the United States by $2,000, $3,000, and even $5,000 and more. Home ownership has always been a symbol of health and vigor of American society, but that goal fell out of reach for millions and millions of people in the Biden era because interest rates went up so high. Today, I'm taking action to bring back this bedrock of the American dream. In recent years, Wall Street giants and institutional investment firms, many of you are here, many of you are good friends of mine, many of you are supporters. Sorry to do this, Joe. I'm so sorry.
Oh, shit.
But you've driven up housing prices by purchasing hundreds of thousands of single-family homes.
That's right, BlackRock.
Often as much as 10% of houses on the market. You know, the crazy thing is a person can't get depreciation on a house, but when a corporation buys it, they get depreciation. Okay, that's something we're going to have to think about, too. I don't know if too many people think about that. You buy a corporation.
But I thought that Trump was only working for the billionaires.
They buy hundreds of thousands. They buy 500
Even though he literally,
houses, they can take depreciation.
His literal tax cuts were biggest for the middle class.
Buys one house they can't. But homes are built for people, not for corporations, and America will not become a nation of renters. We're not going to do that. That's why I have signed an executive order barring institutional investors from buying single families. It's just not fair to the public.
This is insane.
They're not able to buy a house. And I'm calling on Congress to pass that ban into permanent law, and I think they will. One of the biggest barriers to saving for a down payment has been surging credit card debt. The profit margin for credit card companies now exceeds 50%, one of the biggest. And they charge Americans interest rates of 28%, 30%, 31%, 32%. Whatever happened to usury? So to help our citizens recover from the Biden disaster, all caused by this horrible, just horrible president, I'm asking Congress to cap credit card interest rates at 10% for 1 year. And this will help millions of Americans save for a home. They have no idea they're paying 28%. They go out there a little late in their payment and they end up losing their house. It's terrible. To unleash innovation in savings and financing, I'm also working to ensure America remains the crypto capital of the world. And to that end, last year I signed the landmark Genius Act into law. Now Congress is working very hard on crypto market structure legislation, Bitcoin, all of them, which I hope to sign very soon, unlocking new pathways for Americans to reach financial freedom. And I did it for two reasons. Number one, I thought it was politically good, and it was. I got tremendous political support. But more importantly, China wanted that market, too. It's just like the AI. And we've got that market, I think, pretty well locked up. If I didn't do it, Biden was totally against it until before the election when they realized that, there were millions of people voting against him over crypto. And all of a sudden, they loved it very much, but it was too late. They blew it. But it is politically popular, but it's much more importantly, we have to make it so that China doesn't get the hold of it. And once they have that hold, we're not going to be able to get it back. So I'm honored to have done it. Finally, I've instructed government-backed institutions to purchase up to $200 billion in mortgage bonds to bring down interest rates. And I'll be announcing a new Fed chairman in the not-too-distant future. I think he'll do a very good job. See, I gave away some of it. He did give that away. So we have something, got something. But somebody that's very respected.
All right,
They're all respected. They're all great. Everyone that I interviewed is great. Everyone could do, I think, a fantastic job. Problem is they change once they get the job. They do. You know, they're saying
many such cases.
They're locked in for 6 years. They get the job, and all of a sudden, let's raise rates a little bit. I call them, sir, we'd rather not talk about this. It's amazing how people change once they have the job. It's too bad. Sort of disloyalty, but they got to do what they think is right. We have a terrible chairman right now. Jerome, too late Powell. He's always too late. And he's very late with interest rates, except before the election. He was just fine for the other side. So
Interesting.
We're going to have somebody that's
interesting.
We hope he does that.
Wow.
Last week, the average.
It's almost like every institution is working against this guy
for the first time in many years. Another major factor in driving up housing costs was the mass invasion of our borders. And I have to say one thing about housing, because nobody ever says this. I am very protective of people that already own a house, of which we have millions and millions and millions. And because we have had such a good run, the house values have gone up tremendously. And these people have become wealthy.
True.
They weren't wealthy. They become wealthy because
because of real estate investment. Yeah.
And every time you make it more and more and more affordable for somebody to buy a house cheaply, you're actually hurting the value of those houses, obviously, because the one thing works in tandem with the other. And I don't want to do anything that's going to hurt the value of people that own a house who, for the first time in their lives, are walking around the streets of whatever city they're in, very proud that their house is worth $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. Now, if I want to really crush the housing market, I could do that so fast and people could buy houses, but you would destroy a lot of people that already have houses. In some cases, they've mortgaged their house.
Also true.
And the mortgage would be very low. And all of a sudden, the mortgage without any changes becomes very high, and they end up losing the house. I'm not going to hurt, and I speak with Scott, who's doing a fantastic job, and Howard, who's doing a fantastic job, and all of my people. And I always say, look, I can crush the hell out of the market. We can drop interest rates to a level, and that's one thing we do want to do. That's natural. That's good for everybody. The dropping of the interest rates, we should be paying a much lower interest rate than we are. We should be paying the lowest interest rate of any country in the world, because without the United States, you don't have a country. I mean, I had a case with Switzerland. We happened to be in Switzerland. Maybe I'll give you a quick story. But they were paying nothing. They make beautiful watches, great watches, Rolex, all of them. They were paying nothing to the United States when they sent their product in. And we had a $41 billion deficit. $41 billion with this beautiful place. Flew over it, isn't it nice? So I said, let's put a 30% tariff on them, so that we get back some of it, not all of it at all. We'd still have a deficit, big deficit. We had 41 million. That's a big deficit. And I said, let's put a tariff on. Different tariffs, different places. You're all party to them. In some cases, victims to them. But in the end, it's a fair thing. And most of you realize that. But we put a 30% tariff on Switzerland, and all hell broke loose. They were calling, like you wouldn't believe. And I know so many people from Switzerland, incredible place. Incredible, brilliant place. But I then realized that they're only good because of us. And there's so many other examples. Us and probably other places. None of them make us because of us.
All the good things you do, that's because of us. All the bad things, it's because y'all are shit.
No tariffs,
hope you understand.
They walk away, they make $41 billion.
Thank you for your attention to this matter.
And just us. So I said, no, we can't do that. So I'm going to bring it up. I still would have a deficit pretty substantial.
He's holding his whole room of European leaders hostage.
I guess Prime Minister, I don't think President, I think Prime Minister called a woman, and she was very repetitive.
And she was
said,
a woman nagging and doing other woman things. I didn't pay any attention.
We're a small country. I said, yeah, but you have a big, big deficit. You may be small, but you have a bigger deficit than big
We are
countries.
small. Please, let us get away with
please.
shit.
You
No.
kept saying the same thing over and over. We are a small country. I said, but you're a big country in terms of... And she just rubbed me the wrong way, I'll be honest with you.
Dude, I have one person in my chat
thank you, ma'am.
that's
Appreciate
crashing
it.
out.
Do not
But
do
what if
this.
they don't like Trump
Thank you
after
very
this?
much, ma'am.
Is he
And I made
making
it
enemies?
39.
Dog, they need him.
And then all hell really broke out.
They don't have the
And
choice.
I was paid visits by everybody. Rolex came to see me. They all came to see me. But I realized, and I reduced it, because I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt them. And we brought it down to
A woman not
lower
taking
level.
accountability.
Doesn't mean it's not going up.
That can't be
But
true.
we brought it down to a lower level.
That can't be real.
But they pay now, tariff.
And they pay.
I realized
That's the
that
conclusion, all right? They bitched, they cried, it didn't work, they
many
pay.
places like that
Nice.
where they're making a fortune because of the United States.
Yeah.
Without the United States, they wouldn't be making anything.
That's right.
Think of it. Switzerland made $41 billion on us.
It's crazy that he
And
knows
as she
this.
said, it's a small place.
Switzerland makes
And
billions off of
I
us.
realized
We
that I
deserve
always felt
shit.
because you're so aggressive. And I realized in that conversation that the United States is keeping the whole world afloat.
Oh my God, and
Many
he
places. I
points
could
at
give you
them.
6, 7 places just in the
You
people in
need
this area.
us.
I know
We
every
don't
one of
need
them. They're
you.
Sort of
Greenland is
looking
ours,
down.
GG.
They don't want to see me. They don't want to stare me in the eyes. But they're taking advantage of. Everybody took advantage of the United States. But I've been very fair, and I gave them a tariff, and it was fine. But I realized that without us, it's not Switzerland anymore. Without us,
boy.
it's not any of the countries that are represented here. And we want to work with the countries. We wanna
Without
work with
us,
them,
you
looking
are
to destroy
nothing.
them. I could have said
I
39,
could
40%.
destroy
I
you.
could have said I want a 70% tariff, then we make money with Switzerland.
Yeah, and there's nothing they can do about it. They
Switzerland
have to
would have
literally
been
completely
probably
look out to
destroyed
whatever we say.
financially. I don't want to do
Because
that.
they have
But we should be
suicided their
paying the
own
lowest
countries.
interest rate of everybody. I hope Scott's listening to this because we should be paying the lowest interest rate of everybody. Without us,
Oh my God.
most of the countries don't even work. And then you have the protection factor. Without our military, which is the greatest in the world by far.
Your countries
Without
are
our military,
broken.
have threats
You
that
need
would never-
us.
You wouldn't
They
believe.
don't work.
You wouldn't believe. You don't have threats because of us, and that's because of NATO. One other thing, and I have to say it so importantly, in the old days, and I used to say I'm the youngest in the room. Now I'm among the older. I hate to say it. I don't feel old, but I'm among the older. But I remember not long ago, 20, 25 years ago, when good news came out about, let's say, the United States. The United States had a great quarter. The United States had a great month. All the stocks went up, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Now when they say the United States had a record quarter, it's unbelievable how well it's doing. All the stocks crash because they say, oh no, inflation, they're going to raise interest rates. And they do. Some of these stupid people like Powell raise interest rates. And what they do is they stop you from
They're
business.
literally
It used to
weaponizing
be
everything they
when we
can
had a
against
great
this man.
quarter,
They're
a
rigging
great
it all.
month, great earnings, great anything, any good news, the stock market went up. That's the way it's going to be. We got to do that again because that's the way it should be. Now when we have a great month, they want to kill it. Like we did over 5%. People were surprised. We should do 20%. We could do 25%. When we announce good numbers, and the reason is they're so petrified of inflation. And growth doesn't mean inflation. We've had tremendous growth with very low inflation. In fact, growth can fight inflation, proper growth.
True.
So we want to get back to the days when we announce great numbers because we're going to be announcing phenomenal. You know, all these factories that are being built at record, thousands of businesses are being built right now. Remember, $18 trillion is invested. I think the second number is 3, and that was China many years ago. Investments in the country from outside. 18 trillion, nobody's ever seen. And that's money coming in and building things, factories. Thousands of businesses are being built, thousands. Hundreds of big factories, car plants are moving back to the United States. They're coming in from Canada. They're coming in from Mexico, from Japan. Japan's coming in and building plants here in order
They
to
have
avoid
to.
tariffs.
Otherwise, they'll have to deal with the tariffs.
They're coming in from
That's
China.
why it's such
They're
a good
coming in
idea.
from all over the world.
Yep.
We have more plants being built now, car plants, than we've ever had built, even in the heyday from the 1940s and 50s.
This dude was supposed to speak for
And they're
45
bigger.
minutes, by the
They
way.
don't
He is
use
not stopping.
renovations anymore, where they take an old plant, they rip it down, they build a brand new plant, super modern plant. but it's happening at levels that nobody's ever seen. In 2024, the U.S. built less than 2 million new homes, but Biden admitted more than 8 million new migrants.
Oh, great.
And those days
Right,
are over.
exactly.
In 2025,
Right.
for the first
We built new
time
homes,
in
but we
50
let in
years,
30 million
the United
people.
States had reverse migration. Boy, that was nice. And these were criminals that were being taken out of our country because they allowed people to come into our country from jails, from gangs, drug dealers, murderers. 11,888 murderers. We've gotten most of them out. And then ICE gets beat up by stupid people from leadership in Minnesota. We actually are helping Minnesota so much, but they don't appreciate it. Most places do. You know, Washington, D.C. is the safest place now in the United States. It was a very dangerous place to walk. And now you can walk with your wife, your kids, right through the middle of the city. Right now, Washington, D.C. is as safe as it gets. It was one of the most unsafe, I had to admit. We sent in the military, the National Guard.
Based?
Within 2 months, it was great. Within 3 months, it's like a really great place and a safe place and a beautiful place. It's even been cleaned up. The graffiti's gone. The fences are gone. We don't have to worry about fences anymore. All of the places, the grasses are cut and replaced with new grass in many cases. It's all going to happen in the spring. But Washington and D.C. is beautiful again, and it's safe. New restaurants are opening up. They were all closing. Now you can't get into a restaurant. Restaurants in Washington, D.C. are all opening. Memphis also. Memphis, Tennessee. New Orleans, Louisiana. We were there for 3 weeks. We've cut the crime down by 64%. Within another month, we'll have virtually no crime there. We can do that all over. We're going to help the people in California. We want to have no crime. I know Gavin was here. I used to get along so great with Gavin when I was president. Gavin's a good guy. And we're going to, if he needed it, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'd love to see. We did help them a lot in Los Angeles.
Guess who met Gavin Newsom?
With the early in my term when they had some problems.
Alex Soros.
We would love to do it. I will say this, if I were a Democrat governor or whatever.
George Soros' son met up with him.
Come on in, make us look good, because we're cutting crime down to nothing. And we're taking people out, career criminals who are only going to do bad things, and we're bringing them back to their countries. But where we've done it, it's been amazing. And we have a capacity to do it at much greater levels. We're cutting illegal aliens off welfare and other government benefits, and I have directed that starting immediately, there will be no more payments to sanctuary cities because they are really just sanctuaries for criminals. They're protecting criminals.
Yeah,
and
fuck
those are the
those
ones
guys.
we have to get out of
I
the country.
agree.
Murderers, drug dealers, the mentally insane. They emptied their mental institutions into the United States. And despite that, we have the lowest crime numbers that we've ever had in the history of the country.
Also true.
Just came out. But equally importantly, we're cracking down on more than $19 billion in fraud that was stolen by Somalian bandits. Can you believe that, to be higher IQ than we thought?
Low IQ!
And we say these are low IQ people. How do they go into Minnesota and steal all that money? And we have,
the low IQ
pirates,
fraud,
pirates,
bro.
But we shoot them out of the water just like we shoot the drug boats out. They're not pirating too many boats lately. Do you notice?
Yeah, we
When they go
noticed.
out into those boats,
Retards.
big tank loaded up with oil, and they say, we're going to blow up your boat. They have powerful weapons. You hit the side of the boat, you blow the whole thing up. The insurance companies are petrified, so they say, just give them the boat. We'll give them money instead. And I don't do that. We blow them right the hell out of the water. We see them going out, we blow them out of the water. We don't have any pirates so much anymore. If we do, they won't be there long. We've cut down with the hitting of the boats that are loaded up with drugs, including submarines. Can you believe they actually buy small, they call them mini subs.
Yeah,
very
submarines
fast.
with drugs in it. But maybe they were fishing boats. But what if they were fishing boats? That's what the leftists said on Twitter.
You have ruined somebody's fishing weekend, I would say. A submarine is not a fishing boat. You don't fish. But we've knocked down drugs by water, the oceans, the sea, by 97.2%. Think of that. And I actually say, who the hell are the 3%? Because I would not want to be piloting one of those boats. We knocked them down, and now we're going to start on land. We're going to knock it all out. The land is the easy part. What we did on sea is incredible, and that's our great military. The situation in Minnesota reminds us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures, which have failed to ever build a successful society
If
of
they
their own.
can't assimilate, they have to go.
From Somalia, and Somalia is a failed.
shithole.
It's not a nation.
It's a
got
nation.
no government, got no police, got no military, got no nothing. And then we have this fake congressperson who they just reported is worth $30 million. You believe this? Ilhan Omar talking about the Constitution provides me. She comes from a country that's not a country, and she's telling us how to run America. Not going to get away with it much longer, let me tell you. The explosion of prosperity and conclusion and progress that built the West did not come from our tax codes. It ultimately came from our very special culture. This is the precious inheritance that America and Europe have in common. We share it. We share it, but we have to keep it strong. We have to become stronger, more successful, and more prosperous than ever. We have to defend that culture and rediscover the spirit that lifted the West from the depths of the Dark Ages to the
That's right, baby.
Human achievement. We live in an incredible, changing period. It's an unbelievable time, but we have to take advantage of the time that we're in. In our hands are technologies that our ancestors could scarcely have. I mean, they couldn't have even dreamt some of the things that we see today. And so rapidly they're produced. I mean, AI, 2 years ago, nobody ever heard of the term, and now everybody's talking about it. And it can have some very good purpose. It could also have some dangerous purpose, and for that we have to watch out. But some tremendous things are happening because of it. And we're leading by so much. We're doing so well. But opportunities that are bigger and grander than ever before in human history are right before us. It is the pioneers in this room. Many of you in this room are true pioneers. You're two truly brilliant, brilliant people. Just your ability to get a ticket is brilliant because you have about 50 people for every seat. I don't know what. That's Larry. Everything Larry touches turns to gold. He made this very successful. But you're in this room, and some of you are the greatest leaders anywhere in the world. You're the greatest brains anywhere in the world. And the future is unlimited, and to a large part because of you. And we have to protect you, and we have to cherish you. I always say we have to cherish our brilliant people because there aren't many of them.
What do you mean? We should import Somalis. They can do the same thing.
And persistence, let us lift up our people, grow our economies, defend our shared destiny, and build a future for our citizens that is more ambitious, more exciting, more inspiring, and greater than the world has ever seen. We're in a position to do things that nobody else has ever even thought of before.
We could just do things, actually.
And many of the people in this room are the ones that are doing it, and I want to congratulate you, and I'm with you all the way. You can do things that nobody else can even think about. So I congratulate you on your tremendous success, and the United States is back, bigger, stronger, better than ever before, and I'll see you around. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much.
Damn, that was a great speech. Yeah, he cooked. He ulted over there. I'm not going to lie. That's insane.
Thank you.
Yeah, good stuff. All in all, holy, very benevolent, as they say. Yo, that's insanity. Yeah, they're already having meltdowns about this. Gavin Newsom is having a pretty horrible time at this World Economic Forum.
Do you have a message for Europeans who are concerned about messages from the White House around Greenland this week?
Greenland.
It's time to buck up. It's time to get serious.
Get serious, guys.
And stop being complicit. It's time to stand tall and firm, have a backbone. You know, it's I've seen this in the United States.
Look at he's crying.
Playing both sides.
He's crying!
You know, say one thing on a text or a tweet, another publicly. It's time to have principles. It's time to stand tall.
Stand tall.
Stand united.
Stand united.
You make that determination. I don't make that determination.
So when you
Please.
say stand tall,
Collectively.
what do you mean?
Just I can't take this complicity.
The complicity. Not a
Rolling
word.
over. I should have brought up a bunch of knee pads for all the world leaders.
Knee pads.
I mean,
they're all
handing out
groveling in
crowns
front of
and
Trump.
This is pathetic. Nobel Prizes, they are being given away.
What does that
I
mean?
It's just, I hope people understand how pathetic
Pathetic.
they look on the world
You look
stage.
lame and
At least
gay.
From an American perspective, it's embarrassing.
So
You're
what should
embarrassing.
You should decide. The Europeans should decide for themselves what to do. But one thing
He's literally fighting against the interest of our country, by the way. Of his own country.
is what they've been doing, and they've been playing. This
Europeans-
guy's playing folks for fools, and it's embarrassing.
Europeans think this is diplomacy and this will
Well,
ultimately
this is
work.
diplomacy with Donald Trump. He's a T-Rex.
He's a T-Rex.
Or he devours you.
This is the most unbelievable, bitch out crying maneuver I've ever seen in my entire life. Anyway, this entire meeting has been absolute cinema. Trump made this tweet right before his speech. The golden rule of negotiating and success. He who has the gold makes the rules. Thank you. And honestly, it's pretty incredible. Maybe we'll do a separate video looking at all the Euro cucks absolutely losing their shit, because this one ended up being pretty long as it is. But all in all, this was unbelievable. Good shit. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, man.